Hi guys, this is going to be titled How to Play Jimmie Rodgers Guitar, but the first step is something foundational that you have to learn where you're alternating between two chords. And this is foundational. Before you learn any specific songs by Jimmie Rodgers, I think you should get this down. This is a style that I've been very interested in, and I'm in the zoom in camera app showing you the fretting hand here. So I've got a thin pick, the Martin 018 guitar. The first thing you can do is this. And that probably sounds familiar. That's with my third finger on the thickest string, third fret, or ring finger you can say. Open fifth string. My middle finger is at the second fret, fifth string. And then my third finger on the third fret, fifth string. Now, why do you do that? Well, I learned that because you notice you're right in position to play your C chord. And while I was playing this yesterday, I did something I haven't done in a while, which is play guitar standing up in front of the mirror. And that is a big tip for this, but we're going to keep going with it. So while you have that C chord shape, you can now go. And what intrigued me about this style for so long was I never really quite understood what strings do you play and everything like that, what you're aiming for. So what I just did was I played the fifth string while holding down that C chord, and I'm going to zoom in on each hand separately, but basically my picking hand came up and swiped down the strum on strings 4, 3, 2, 1. So it's not this, and it's not this sound, it's this sound. Alright, so now here comes this. Now this finger is going to go up in proportion to your guitar, and it's going to go on the third fret, thickest string. Okay, and that's going to be the alternating thing. And the other thing is you can introduce an upstroke, right? And you'll know it sounds off if you're not hitting the right strings. And this is the main point of this is honestly, or the main thing to factor in is picking accuracy. That's why I said playing in front of the mirror. So we're going like this. Now at that point, check this out. Here's what you can do. You hear how this sounds terrible by itself? But when you factor it in to being played fast, your ear says that actually sounds good. You want to talk about that with the muting? You can hear your ear can hear muting. We're on the fourth fret, my ring finger's here on the B string, and we're playing that along with the open thinnest. And basically I'm just using my index finger here to just play that top part of the C chord, playing the thinnest two strings. Then adding the middle finger, now second fret G string, and we're still doing double stops. Then it's open. Now notice this. That's the second fret, fourth string with the middle finger. Again with the open G. And then, now why do I show you that? And you can also, the muting part of it is all really done with the fretting hand, honestly. But you can mute with the palm. Now why do I say that? Because you're back in position to play the C. Now I'm going to show you another one. Let me just play it for you first. try that again. Now what is that all about? Well, we're sliding into the 5th fret with the ring finger, 2nd string, and we're also playing the open E. Adding the index to the 3rd fret, then the string. And you just have to hear that strumming, but it's down, 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 up, down, then so that's 1st fret, index finger on the 2nd string, and then we're adding. Now here we go. That's a little slide with the middle finger sliding from fret 2 to fret 3 on the G string. We're playing the B open. That's just a stupid text. Sorry about that, guys. Now I'm playing that's basically just the top part of the G7 chord. I'm playing my index fingers here on the thinnest string, and we're just strumming strings 3, 2, 1. Now, how does that fit into context? Because you're going to make this G7 chord. Now, if you do this and you strum and you actually hit the 5th string, that's not going to be right. Listen to that. Or God forbid, the thickest. But what you can do is you can strum any of those other strings, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you land right in the G7. So I'll show you. See how I just tap that thickest string and then went boom, right? So that's how you seamlessly throw these licks in between the rhythm to do with this style. You want to check out another really cool lick that has its roots in the blues? Check this out in the middle 2 strings. That's a hammer on. Remember, you're focusing on the middle 2 strings. Hammer on, fret 2 to fret 3. This comes off, and then open, and then another G7. Now check this out on the 3rd string. Hear that little muting? So that's a slide, fret 2 to fret 4 on the 3rd string. 3rd fret, B. Now we're on the 5th fret, a B. So that's the 4th fret, G, and then the open G, of course. So now check out this last lick I'm going to show you. It's going to blow your mind. This note again here, the note G. Open 5th string. You can see what I'm doing here. It's 1st fret, 2nd fret on the 5th string. So now a hammer on. Now you would see how you're right back in the C, and then you can just go. Yeah, I'll zoom in and show you what this. Here's doing. So and you know something else, a really cool way you can end it would be to make your C7 chord. You know your C7, just your basic C chord, but you're adding the pinky to the 3rd fret of the G string, and just go like this. First, make sure you hear all the notes, and then give it some personality. Now this, you want to master what I'm showing you here way before you get into any sort of Jimmie Rodgers specific tunes. But this will get your foot in the door. It's very challenging in terms of to get your picking on point, but also it's very simple in terms of you can wrap your head around it, and it's very, very fun. And I had to play this on the Martin 018. It just felt right. So let's check out the right hand if we can, see how much we can do with that. I'm just going to look at this and see what we can discover about it. See, this is a worn out pick too. I was thinking about buying some new pick. I got some exciting harmonica stuff coming up soon too. So here's this beginning. You can see that's a third fret, thickest string, open, A, second fret, third fret. Now let's look at this hand. You want it to sound rich like that. See how the hand comes up above? And at that point, you can play this. See how the hand swings upwards, and that's how you get that accuracy. Swings up. Someone's trying to ruin my video, guys. Let me show you that again. So here's the right hand. So now we're sliding on with the ring finger, fret 3 to fret 5. Let me just try to encapsulate that. Now at this point our index finger goes down on the 3rd fret thinnest string. And at that point our index finger is now on the 1st fret B string, and we're playing again the open, thinnest. Just like that. Now the slide. And make sure there you're playing strings 3, 2, 1, not 4, not 5, and not just 2. 3, 2, 1. That's the G7 chord. Now remember this. See, we're playing the thinnest 2 strings now. And that your fretting hand, your technique, so to speak, your posture, everything needs to be on point, because it's very easy to mute that in a way you don't want to. Another G. And this lick is also, the next one requires a lot of accuracy. That's a slide on the G string from fret 2 to fret 4. This last one actually, I'm literally just got this down last night and even just started to, so. And really you want to land on the note right before this note. You want to actually play that with the middle finger so that you're again in position. This whole thing is about landing in position in time. That's why you play open chord strings, the appropriate open strings at the appropriate time, so you can make the whole thing seamless, and then eventually you can speed up this style. See? And I was watching in a Facebook group a guy playing Jimmie Rodgers cover song, singing and playing, pretty much had it note for note on a Martin Street Master, Triple O Street Master it looked like. I was getting a good sound out of it. There was something else I wanted to say yesterday about this, but I can't remember what it was. About how it, I'm sure I'll remember later, about how it sounds unpleasant and when you focus on it, but in passing it sounds good, but I can't remember the exact point I wanted to make. You can look back at the other hand just a little bit more. I was going to make this video either tonight or maybe I'll do harmonica tonight instead, but this just popped out unexpected. It's actually still daylight, it's bright outside. It's an awful day in terms of the wind. It's cold and kind of miserable, even though it's April and we went through a terrible winter already, but it's not terrible, but I mean long and unforgiving, and this day has been very unforgiving. You know? Just remember this. What kind of tips can I give you? Well, stand up straight, get a guitar that suits this style of playing. I gotta say, there's a lot of guitars I wouldn't really want to play this on that I own. My Gibson SG electric, I mean, it would work. You can play anything on any guitar, but I don't know. I like this charming sound of the small body Martin for this. And you don't want to be staring at your picking hand. That's why I say look in the mirror. But once you get this shape and you feel comfortable holding down your two chords, the challenge then becomes strumming only strings 4, 3, 2, 1. And I don't think people are talking about that, honestly. See how often I'm going to strum from string 5. Next. See how that didn't quite work. Listen. And watch when I strum not enough strings. It sounds like it's missing something. And you don't want to hit the 5th string and have it be dead and sound kind of dead. So that's the first thing to do when you hold your C chord and get that down. And as I said, pop in like this, and I'll show you like this. This hand goes up and above the strings, and then comes down. Goes up and over, and then strums. So you're not going, missing half of it. And you can still do it, but you're going like this, ever so slightly. And you want to hear. And all those little squeaking sounds where it's like, guitar sounds, if you will, that is just, my fretting hand technique could be better. At times, it's like your harmonica embouchure. Because I play small body guitars a lot, and I'm not a small guy, I tend to slouch over these guitars, but I'm working on that too. So let's see. I wish I could remember what I wanted to tell you about this one lick. It's a great lick, though. A lot of this stuff you can take right and apply it to your playing, but if you don't master the G to the C to the G alternating, you'll never even be able to get your foot in the door with Jimmie Rodgers, because Jimmie Rodgers had so much precision with his picking. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. And this channel ultimately is about the players that inspired me, the players that I hold in high regard. I really couldn't care less about posting up songs that I don't like or about from artists I don't like. That's why if I ever watch like American Idol or any of that, and you see all these you hear all these people doing covers of songs I've never heard of, you know. But then when they sing, it sounds like what you'd hear on when you're getting a haircut, just generic radio. So this channel is not meant to be a blast from the past. It's just my inspirations are what they are. They're not really super contemporary, with a few exceptions. Even across different types of genres, you know, altogether. Yeah, so that's the first thing, right? So you can start out by looking at this hand. And don't forget the upstroke. Use it as you see fit, not every time. But also, one more thing about the upstrum. You want to hit more than just the thinnest string, and it kind of gives the thing a little momentum when you throw it in. It keeps it moving, but you also have to keep the timing consistent when you add in the upstroke. And again, you don't have to, and you can do it as you see fit, so that's kind of nice. Or buzzing. Now that's caused from what? Try to sit up a little bit taller. Sit back in this chair. See my hand? Well, you can't see my other hand right now, but it's doing what I told you. See, I gotta work on that buzzing though. As I said, I'm just learning this. And normally I like to give you stuff that's super polished, that I've been playing forever. And I really like to wait till I've mastered something before making a video on it. So I generally don't record things that sound with bad strings and buzzing and whatever else, but I wanted to show you how to get your foot in the door with this style and get the gears turning, because you can only garner so much from watching live videos, and even there's color footage of Jimmie Rodgers out there and whatnot. It's been added, you know, color has been added afterwards and stuff. You know, once in a while I'll show you what I'm working on, even if it sounds rough. You can still get a lot of tips, because how long are you going to listen to me play, you know? You've heard it. You've heard these things. You've heard this. You've heard me play these, you know, it's all been done. As I continue to learn on the harp, I'm learning on the guitar at a slower pace, even though I started on the guitar first. My guitar stuff, something has to catch my eye, kind of, for me to say, okay, I'm going to do this next. Whereas harmonica, I'll tell you flat out, the two players I'm studying right now on the harp, in terms of online teachers that I'm slowing down their videos and taking everything that I can from them, is John Gindick and of course Adam Gusso. And those are two guys I've been a fan of from the beginning, but as I say before, you try to scatter out watching too many different sources, You want a few different ones though, because you want to be influenced by a few different sources and you can pick up. You don't want to just be stuck on one person. Even if you're watching me a lot, you should find somebody else with less than 1,000 subscribers that's really putting something out there, and learn from them too, because you don't want to be too laser focused on just one teacher or instructor, or source of material and whatnot. But yeah, I'm not sure what else I can say in regards to this. We've only got 10 more minutes to. We've got a possible 15 minutes to go to 45, but I don't need to drag anything out. I know as soon as I cancel the video, I'm gonna think of what I wanted to say about that lick, but